participants to this GRCP Alumni Lecture Series, which we started early this year. Last month also on May 8th, we had the same type of alumni lecture, which was given by our alumni student, Shruti Challa, who shared her experience on validation process and equipment. So before we start the session, I would like to give a brief importance of conducting or organizing this type of lecture series. These alumni lecture series are conducted with the intention to continue a strong relationship or to continue a strong bonding between alumni students, the current existing students, and the faculty of GRCP to help the current students to think about the future. Secondly, by sharing the personal and professional experiences, these alumni lectures provide business and professional tips in a unique peer-to-peer environment or in a new environment. At the same time, this platform also strengthens the relationship between the alumni students, the current existing students, and the faculty by inviting our alumni students as speakers. So inviting our alumni students as speakers, I feel it's a wonderful thing, because these experiences, these speakers who are our alumni students, they share their work experiences while encouraging the current students to create or to think creatively as they are stepping into a new professional world. So with these few lines, now I kindly request our Dr. CVS sir to invite and introduce our speaker, Mr. Nikhil Mailavarapu, who is working as a brand manager in Raymond's Consumer Care. Thank you so much. Over to sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Gangarazu. Good morning to every one of you. I take this opportunity to welcome Nikhil Mailavarapu to this webinar session and also invite all the faculty and students. In fact, it is a great pleasure to have Nikhil on this particular platform today. Nikhil Mailavarapu is our alumni student and way back second batch student. In even 2004 to 2008, he has done. During his time in the college, he is very active in Farm IPC, as well as he also attended what is called as Banaras Hindu University, IPC also he has attended. In 2008, he passed and shifted to Calcutta and pursued his MBA program in marketing in Calcutta Business School. After that, he has joined as a management trainee in Imami products. All of you know about a large number of Imami products, etc. And that is how his career started. In fact, today we have a very distinguished person with a rare talent. General marketing is something different, and attempting marketing or sales to a consumer is still more difficult. Even maybe OTC product you may be able to do, but if you want to do it in a general manner, it becomes very, very tough job. He has to be very talkative and articulate in his approach to handle the public. And he is a brand manager of Raymond's. Raymond's is a fast-moving consumer goods company, and is a brand manager for Kama Sutra. And you know, several Raymond's has got several things, and all of you know about clothes and apparel, but they have a large number of fragrance products. They have a large number of beauty products like shaving creams, soaps, and they have also got consumer products like hand sanitizer, etc. A large number of group products are available, and he is taking after. And as a brand manager, what is more important is he takes one particular product and be a leader and lead the product throughout the world. That is the importance. There may be several products. You may get one product advantage of the other over the other product. But this is a single case where he has to lead the entire product life cycle, right from production to the marketing, and see that it reaches the consumers and do the business. In fact, it is a rare talent. Normally, pharmacy people will have, but I am happy to see him such a rare talent. And he, and it is not just a drug alone, it is several other things are also involved in that. And he worked in Imami as a Jandu Bomb. He has promoted. Later he joined Boehringer Inghal and Mumbai. And he has Dalcoflex is a very famous brand and everybody uses. And he also joined Kellogg's cornflakes, which is called the breakfast. And every child, every person needs this particular product. And he also leader and almost like he's a Kellogg ambassador for that particular product. And later he joined an Abbott and joined several OTC products handled like Digene, Rash Free, Brufen Active. Like that, several products, OTC products also he has handled up to 2018. 2018 he joined Raymond's and has continuing in that particular case. And in fact, we have listened to other marketing person, Narsireddy Garu, but that particular area is different and this area is different. The type of needs required is altogether different, and it is a rare opportunity for us to listen to a person who has excelled himself into a diversified area. With these few remarks, and I invite Nikhil Mailavarapu to this particular webinar, and thank you very much, Mailavarapu, Nikhil, to join us.
Sure, sir. My pleasure.
Now I hand over the mic to you. Please address.
Sure.
He will be talking on marketing as a career path, scope and its impact. Please let us benefit from his words. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So thanks to the entire faculty of GRCP and students who are ready to bear with me for next 45 minutes to 1 hour. So as a ground rules, what I wanted to share is one, you could ask me queries anytime. So I'm completely open. I believe that this could be more of an interactive session where you could answer me, ask me all the queries that you have, and also I could answer all the queries that you have. You can stop me anywhere between the deck. So this deck I'll share this with you guys all so that this stays with all the students and they could refer it in case they find it useful in some points of their career choices that they do. That is the first one. Then in terms of a bit of disturbance, because we are all working from home and now we are with our family in the family environment, there might be some disturbance, either visual or audio. Please bear with that. And you could ask me questions, unmute yourself and ask me questions wherever you like. That is the earnest request from me. So give you a snapshot of all that I have done. With Imami, I had launched these ads with Munni, the Malaika Arora Khan, with NTR in Telugu, with Surya in Tamil, Kannada, and then only Malaika in Hindi. So this is some work that I had done. Then I also handled Menthoplus Balm for them, which is called as a flanker strategy, where you have a very big brand, then you'll have smaller brands. Like for example, Manaki Andhra Pradesh lo, Telangana lo Amrutanjan untundi. So Amrutanjan ki Zendu Balm is considered as a North Indian brand by some AP people. So for them, Menthoplus Balm is the answer. That is called as flanker strategy. So similarly, I had done this ad for Dalcoflex, and then I was leading Kellogg's master brand. It's about making sure that all the children get the right nutrition. Our Indian breakfast is definitely nutritious. However, there should be a variety which gives a lot of fiber to them in a very balanced diet. That's where cornflakes and chocos come in. And then I did these ads for Digene, and then right now I am handling Kama Sutra. This is again, there is a campaign for Kama Sutra. So all these could be found on YouTube for you. Now, some of the products that I have launched is Zendu Ultra Power, Zendu Balm Junior. Even make you market lo meer edana shop kelthe meeku ivi kanipistuntayi. Alage Zendu Balm lo 2 rupees and 5 rupees packs. ఇవి మేజర్ గా రూరల్ ఏరియాస్ లో మనకి చాలా హెల్ప్ అవుతుంటాయి. అక్కడ 25 రూపీస్ 30 రూపీస్ పెట్టి కొనలేరు అక్కడ అందరూ, కాబట్టి ఒక చిన్న ఎస్కేవి. And similarly, I launched this Dalcoflex as an OTC brand. Then we have also launched Kellogg's to go. This you will find in some of these flights and some of these 5-star hotels where it is on the go. Now people go there for different work, they cannot catch up with the breakfast, so they can carry these tins along with them in their cars and to their flights. So this one, and then I have shifted the entire narrative of Brufin into an OTC brand. So this is all the work that I had done with Kama Sutra. This is all the work that I had done. Now you see in many of these on Amazon today and also in general trade. Coming to today's agenda, ఈ రోజు క్లియర్ గా మనం అర్థం చేసుకోదలుచుకున్నది ఏంటంటే మార్కెటింగ్ అంటే ఏమిటి, మార్కెటింగ్ చేసే వాళ్ళ లైఫ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, మార్కెటింగ్ లో ఉన్న డిఫరెంట్ పార్ట్స్ ఏమిటి. మనం ఈరోజు బి ఫార్మసీ చదువుతున్నాం లేదా ఎం ఫార్మసీ చదువుతున్నాము, ఇది చదివిన తర్వాత మనం ఎంబీఏ లేదా పీజీడీఎం చేయాలా లేదా, చేసి ఒక కంపెనీలోకి వెళ్తే మన కెరియర్ గ్రోత్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, మనకి ఎంత పే చేస్తారు వాళ్ళు, దాంట్లో మనం ఎటువంటి పని చేయాలి, యాక్చువల్గా పని ఏం చేస్తాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు ఫార్ములేషన్ R&D ఉంటుంది, మన ఫ్రెండ్స్ చాలా మంది ఉంటారు, మన సీనియర్స్ ఉంటారు, మనకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు, వాళ్ళు కొన్ని ఫార్ములేట్ చేస్తుంటారు, కొందరు ప్రొడక్షన్లో ఉంటారు. అది క్లియర్గా మనకు అందరికీ తెలిసి ఉంటుంది. కాకపోతే ఇందాక సిబిఎస్ సార్ అన్నట్టు మార్కెటింగ్ లోకి చాలా తక్కువ మంది ఫార్మసీ వాళ్ళు వస్తారు. అది ఒకటి అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఒక రకంగా వచ్చిన వాళ్ళకి, అంటే నాలాంటి వాళ్ళకి. ఎందుకంటే కంపీటింగ్ పియర్స్ అన్న వాళ్ళు తక్కువ మంది ఉంటారు. విల్ సీ హౌ బి ఫార్మసీ ఈజ్ యాడింగ్ వాల్యూ. అది కాక దీంట్లో ఎందుకంటే తక్కువ మంది వస్తారు కాబట్టి అసలు దీంట్లో ఏం చేస్తారు, దీని స్కోప్ ఏంటి, దీని పవర్ ఏంటి అన్నది మనకి అంతగా తెలియదు. ఇప్పుడు నేను మీతో మాట్లాడుతున్నా కాబట్టి మీలో కొంతమందికి దీని గురించి ఇప్పుడు తెలియబోతోంది. ఇది కాక మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే, లేకపోతే నేను మాట్లాడుతున్న దాంట్లోనే మీకు ఏదైనా అర్థం కాకపోతే, ఇంకేదైనా క్లారిటీ కావాలంటే వెంటనే అన్మ్యూట్ చేసి మీరు మొహమాట పడకుండా అడగండి. First and foremost thing that a marketer should have is opening up and speaking. మాట్లాడాలి, ఎటువంటి పరిస్థితిలో ఉన్నా మాట్లాడాలి. మనం ఒకవేళ తప్పు మాట్లాడితే నేర్చుకుంటాం, అదే కరెక్ట్ మాట్లాడితే అప్రిసియేషన్ వస్తుంది, మనకి నష్టమేం లేదు మాట్లాడడం వల్ల. కాబట్టి యూ ఆస్క్ క్వశ్చన్స్, యూ స్పీక్ అప్. ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ మార్కెటింగ్ రకరకాల ప్రతి వస్తువు మార్కెటింగ్ ద్వారానే మనకు వస్తుంది. ఒకటి మనం ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్ మెడిసిన్స్ కొన్న దాంట్లో మార్కెటింగ్ ఉంటుంది. ఒక ఓటీసీ ప్రొడక్ట్ అంటే సారిడోన్ లాంటి దాంట్లో, డైజిన్ దాంట్లో, బ్రూఫిన్ దాంట్లో, ఇవన్నీ ఓటీసీ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ అంటారు. అంటే మనకి ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్ అక్కర్లేదు, డాక్టర్ రాయక్కర్లేదు ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్. ఆ తర్వాత ఎఫ్ఎంసీజీ, మన చుట్టూతో ఈ రోజు చూస్తే మనం పొద్దున్న లేచినప్పటి నుంచి వాడిన టూత్ పేస్ట్ ఒక ఎఫ్ఎంసీజీ ప్రొడక్ట్, సోప్ ఒక ఎఫ్ఎంసీజీ ప్రొడక్ట్, షాంపూ ఒక ఎఫ్ఎంసీజీ ప్రొడక్ట్, డియోడ్రెంట్ ఎఫ్ఎంసీజీ. సో ఆల్ దీస్ ఆర్ ఎఫ్ఎంసీజీ ప్రొడక్ట్స్. వీటన్నిటిలో మార్కెటింగ్ ఉంది. కన్స్యూమర్ డ్యూరబుల్స్, మీరు మొబైల్స్ కొనాలంటే మీరు చాలా యాడ్స్ చూస్తుంటారు మొబైల్స్, అట్లానే యూట్యూబ్ లో బోల్డ్ అనే రివ్యూస్ చూస్తూ ఉంటారు. These are made by design so that they come to you. You get influenced by it and you purchase a particular brand or a model of mobile. Fridge, TVs, all these are FMCD durables. Idi kaaka automobiles, bikes, cars, then trucks. So all these are automobiles, tractors. Adi kaaka deentlo unnadi inkoti alcohol beverages. Again ikkada kuda manam surrogate advertising ivanni చూస్తుంటాం, దీంట్లో కూడా ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ చేస్తారు. ఇవి కాక ఉన్నవి ఏంటంటే హోటల్ ఇండస్ట్రీ, అక్కడ కూడా మార్కెట్ ఉంటుంది, మార్కెటింగ్ ఉంటుంది. కాకపోతే దాంట్లో హోటల్, ద ప్రాపర్టీ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, ద ప్రీమియంనెస్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాపర్టీ విల్ డ్రైవ్ కన్స్యూమర్ దేర్. అందుకని మార్కెటింగ్ అంత రూల్ ఉండదు. ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్, మూవీ కూడా మార్కెటింగ్ చేస్తారు. బట్ సే పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ మూవీ ఆర్ రామ్ చరణ్ మూవీ, సే ఆర్ ఎన్టీఆర్ మూవీ ఆర్ విజయ్ దేవరకొండ మూవీ, దే ఆర్ ప్రమోటెడ్ బై ద ఫేస్ ఆఫ్ ద మూవీ విచ్ ఇస్ ద హీరో ఆర్ ద హీరోయిన్ ఆర్ ద డైరెక్టర్ లైక్ రాజమౌళి or Sinu Whitelal. These guys, Boyapati, these guys will drive. So marketing అక్కడ అంత రోల్ ఉండదు. మార్కెటింగ్ రోల్ is very limited. బట్ మీరు ఒకవేళ మార్కెటింగ్ చేస్తే మీరు టిపికల్లీ వన్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ లో మీరు ప్లేస్ అవుతారు. మోస్ట్లీ మనకి హై ఎఫినిటీ ఉండేది బి ఫార్మసీ చేసినందుకు ఏంటంటే ఆర్ఎక్స్ ఫార్మస్యూటికల్స్, అంటే ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఫార్మస్యూటికల్స్. వి విల్ సీ హౌ ఇట్ వేరీస్. ఒక షాప్కి వెళ్తే ఈ రోజున బోల్డ్ అనే ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, బోల్డ్ అని ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇక్కడ చూస్తే మనకు బోల్డ్ అని షాంపూస్ ఉన్నాయి, కొందరు సన్సిల్క్ ప్రిఫర్ చేస్తారు, కొందరు డవ్ ప్రిఫర్ చేస్తారు, కొందరు ఫెయిర్ అండ్ లవ్లీ ప్రిఫర్ చేస్తారు. సో దిస్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ అ పర్టికులర్ కేటగిరీ. సిమిలర్లీ ఒక డాక్టర్ ఉంటాడు, ఆయన దగ్గరకు ఒకళ్ళు కడుపు నొప్పని వస్తారు, ఆయన ఎన్నో యాంటీబయాటిక్స్ రాయొచ్చు, సైక్లోస్పోరిన్ ఒకటి ఉంటుంది, దాంట్లో బోల్డ్ అని బ్రాండ్స్ ఉంటాయి. బట్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద రోల్ ఆఫ్ అ మార్కెటింగ్ ఈజ్ టు మేక్ షూర్ దట్ దే చూస్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ బ్రాండ్ యూ వర్క్ ఫర్. కాబట్టి అది ఎప్పుడో జరుగుతుందంటే ఒక బ్రాండ్ కన్స్యూమర్ ని బాగా అర్థం చేసుకుని.
Nikhil, try to maintain English. Few audience are there, they want English one.
Sure. Thank you. When there are many products on the shelf and every company is trying to compete for that same revenue, because each consumer has their own monthly budget. A consumer might have 5,000 rupees budget, 10,000 rupees budget, that is limited. Within that budget, he is going to purchase a particular product. When it comes to, say, a soap, for example, which is very close to us. Some use Dove, some use Santu, some use Lifebuoy, some use Rexona. Now, every brand wants to maximize that. When somebody purchases Dove, the value of Dove, the sales target of Dove gets completed. So a Dove brand manager or Dove marketing team ensures that everybody purchases Dove. So they need to trigger a particular need state. That is called a need state. Similarly, for a doctor, he can write any brand of say omeprazole, but he chooses to write, for example, Omes, because that is something Dr. Reddy's has placed as top of mind for doctor, because it fulfills certain needs of doctor. One, it works, it is predictable, there is a lot of safety data behind it. So all this is created by a marketing person. So a marketing person first tries to understand what is essential for my consumer or a customer. When it comes to doctor, what is he looking up to? That is what they look at, and then they drive that with the consumers. Now there are these three different soft drink bottles that we know, or three different brands: Coke, Pepsi, and Thumbs Up. Everybody has their own choice. Now, do we really know why we choose a Thumbs Up over a Coke or a Pepsi? Everybody has their favorite brand. When we go to a, say, a McDonald's, or when we go to a mall, or when we want to bring something home, somebody chooses Thumbs Up, somebody likes Coke, somebody likes Pepsi. But how are we making those choices? Who is influencing these choices? We think that we like Thumbs Up for these 1, 2, 3 reasons. Some say it has got very strong fizz. It goes well with biryani or a spicy food. Hence, I like Thumbs Up. Is it the right reason? Or is it a reason that is fed to you from external? Because you see Thumbs Up at Bawarchi. Or somebody at a hotel asks you, sir, Thumbs Up, shall I give you a Thumbs Up? Sir, aapko Thumbs Up do kya? So that is linking. So who is doing this planning for us? It is a brand team or a marketing team who plans for it. Then there is an on-ground sales team who executes it, saying that okay, Thumbs Up should go with food, so that Thumbs Up sales go up. Similar, from the same company, we have this brand called Coca-Cola. Now Coca-Cola is for a party time. So when you have parties, when you go to purchase anything for your home, grocery, that is where you find Coke there with huge Coke branding. Why? It is not about food, it is about fun and entertainment. So think over, is it that we are choosing them, or somebody else is helping us make that choice? Now there is this iPhone. This is like 60,000 rupees and above phone. But even before purchasing it, even before knowing the feel of iPhone, we see that others using this iPhone and feel that we should also own an iPhone. Why? Because it is cool to own, because it is a status symbol, because it has great features, but we did not use it. I'm talking about when people have not used it. That's how this brand grew. After using it, people stay back with it. Doesn't Android have competing features, or isn't Android better? Yes, it is. But we try to rationalize our purchase of buying a 60,000 or 80,000 phone. So we are highly emotional beings, trying to put a rational to what we do. So hence marketing gives you that rational. So when you see a Thumbs Up ad, Thumbs Up says that it has got great taste, with Salman Khan and Mahesh Babu jumping over all the buildings. So they're giving you a reason. Similarly, iPhone, they give you a reason saying that this is the best phone. But if you really get into details of it, all the features of iPhone are probably there in Android, say 2 years ago. But why do people purchase it? Because we are giving them rational reasons to spend money. For example, somebody would go to Nexa. Everybody who's getting into cars would probably know or do some research. Nexa equivalent model exists in normal Maruti also. The biggest example, Ertiga XL6. Both are the same platform, exactly same, just that the packaging of it is slightly different. This gets more chrome, this gets more black, etc. But people are ready to pay at least 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh on the same model in Nexa, because Nexa is a brand, premium. So hence marketing gives you that rational, what you want to believe. For example, Dove promises you to believe that you have a very soft hair after using Dove. Doesn't other shampoos do it? Yes, they would do. And to promise this and to make sure that this promise stands, they also add an additional ingredient into it, and they charge a premium from you. So there is a marketing person who says, okay, people are looking for a soft hair. Let us give them a shampoo which promises softer hair. So add an additional ingredient, will charge a premium over other shampoos. Similarly, there are many people with dandruff and they also want silky hair. Dandruff shampoos cause very say dry hair. So this person goes back and says, okay, we give dandruff, anti-dandruff plus a silky hair, then there is a benefit. Similarly, for a doctor, there is a combination that doctor is looking for. His normal antibiotic is not working. So can we have combination antibiotics? So the marketing person will go back to R&D and brief him. So this is what a marketing person does. When he does that, he wants to bring that information to you. So since the morning, whenever we woke up, I'm sure we have interacted more with a marketeer than our family members. You open a mail, you see a emailer saying this is free, this is an offer from Flipkart, this is an offer from Amazon. This is a marketer talking to you. Then you open your mobile, you see Vodafone, Airtel, Jio, or any other person messaging you that there is a great offer in a mall, we have great talk time offers. Then you open newspaper and TV, that we all know. Then you open social media, you see lot of these ads in your social media stream. So a marketer is always trying to reach you. When you see an ad, when you see a product is trying to pursue you, it means that there is a marketer working behind it, giving money to his from his finance team to a agency, to a Facebook, to a Twitter, to a Instagram to show you an ad, to a mobile company to push his SMS, to Google to push his mail to you, to Yahoo to push his mail. Then you watch movies. In all these movies, you see these people using some of these products. So marketeer is influencing there also. They are using naturally as a part of a movie, but it is highly designed and highly planned there. So you see hoardings of these brands behind these in all these movies. Again, these are promotion. So a marketeer does all this in terms of bringing his content to you, bringing his brand to you. This is what a marketer does. Similarly, for doctors also, all the marketeers take their message to doctors on their platforms, on their mobile. So if you see a doctor's mobile, the kind of mails he gets, the kind of ads he sees would be very different. He'll be seeing about Abbott, he'll be seeing about GSK, he'll be seeing about Mankind. Compared to us, we are looking at more products, hence we see about product ads. But doctors would see about those pharmaceutical companies. That's how marketing does. Now, there is this common salt which is there. Now, this is typically 8 rupees a kilo. When I said adding value of Dove to show you how it escalates and how we feel there is a genuine need. Now, a marketeer or a company adds iodine to it, saying that iodine is very healthy, it is very essential. Yes, it is essential, definitely essential, and sells the same product at 18 rupees. So, this is the 10 rupee value addition to the basic salt. And on top of it, you add health, which is natural salt, pink salt, and this sells at 110 rupees a kilo. Is it where it stops? Is it maximum that a salt could be sold? 8 rupees kilo to 110 rupees kilo. Now you add most important factor, which is convenience. And imagine how much a 8 rupees salt can be sold via convenience. Table sprinklers sells at 175 rupees a kilo. So as a student, when we look at, we should try to understand, if we really want to pursue marketing, we should look at how a person is behaving and why is he behaving that way. What is an insight behind it? So can we make it into a business opportunity? This is what a brand or a marketeer does. And each of them own their own space. When I say own, somebody might have a question, but what sells the most? Is it iodine that sells the most or health that sells the most? Currently, iodine sells the most, but where there is a lot of money, probably when you go to say a place like say financial district or say Banjara Hills, Jubilee Hills, then you find this sells most than iodine, this one. इसके ऊपर धूल जम रहा होगा. People won't pick up this. They would pick up Puro because they can afford. They have a lot of money, and then they prefer health over iodine as a promise. So it is about promise. We are selling a promise added to a product. So when people are purchasing, when you are purchasing an iPhone, you are purchasing a promise that you will be placed at a prestige or a premium level within your peer group, and you are using the best phone that a person could get. Similarly, when you are purchasing a Gillette Mark 3 or Mark 4, you are purchasing what a best man could get. Try to remember all that. When you are purchasing Thumbs Up, you are purchasing into the ruggedness that I am the strongest person, I am the alpha male. That is what you are purchasing into. When you are purchasing into Coke, you are purchasing into a urban, chic, evolved person. So that is a promise that you are purchasing into, and you are always happy. You spread happiness. That is why it's called as open happiness. So we all are purchasing into promises. Now, making a salt, or say for example making an omeprazole tablet, is all the same. In our labs, we can compress this tablet, we can make the same omeprazole tablet, whether you make it, I make it, or say SV College of Pharmacy makes it, or Dr. Reddy's makes it. The effort is the same. But when you build a brand, for example, of all these brands, there are these three brands on a shelf in front of you. You would go and pick up Omes, and if you see the price of this, Omes is the most highly priced among all these three brands. Now, these are from the reputed companies again. Omicap is from Microlabs. Oscar is from Mankind, a lifestyle division within the Mankind. So this is a Mankind Pharma. This is in fact India's second biggest pharma company, Indian pharma company. And Microlabs is like India's 15th biggest company. And Dr. Reddy's is between 5 and 10. Still, people are ready to pay premium on this because Omes is a brand today. So you always charge this premium. Why? Because people believe that Omes works best and they trust on its quality and it works best. So this is the brand building which happens. Similarly, for example, if you look at these brands, look at this brand. Both these brands are made in the same factory, exactly same material, just that the packaging is different. And similarly, these two brands, exactly same factory, but just the packaging is different. But look at the price premium that these are charging. It is because they are a brand, but a person is purchasing them for trust and for quality again. So these are two examples, one from pharmaceutical world and from one from FMCG world. So this is what marketing does to you, and this is what we are there to influence this market. Now, why does this happen? Is it ethical, unethical? This is ethical because, for example, either Kama Sutra or Durex, where do we invest this money that we make, additional money? We invest this money into the education, sexual education of college goers, of school students. We invest that money there, which is good for the society. Hence, as a marketeer, the first quality that you should have is being ethical. If you're really ethical, then you qualify to be a marketeer. So when we look at our own personality, are we ethical? Do we cheat? Do we have the tendency of cheating? Do we have the tendency of pushing corners unjustly? Then you're not right for this profession, because I'll show you why going forward. Because the power of marketing, we are going to see going forward. When people build such brands, they make a lot of money. Their valuations go up. For example, today GRCP's value would be far more different. Are we reading a different textbook compared to other pharmaceutical colleges? No. Other pharma colleges and as the syllabus is the same. However, why GRCP's brand goes up? Why JJ College of Pharmacy, Uti's brand goes up? Why? Because they are built into a brand. How does that brand come in? For example, this kind of session that we are doing. So now students coming out of these sessions are far more exposed. They know. So hence the product is very different compared to others. So always at the core of a brand, there is a strong product. And marketing does, what marketing does is to bring out this product into the open and show that yes, they have a very great product. If you invest on their product, you will have better life. So that is what it does. That's why companies build brands, so that their values go up. For example, in case of Reckitt, when they bought Paras, if you see, at 3,260 crores. However, the actual business when they bought was about 500 crores. So it is about multiples. A 500 crore business was bought by another company by 6 times multiple. So they paid 6 times the actual turnover. So probably they have to sell 500 crores for 6 years and then they can get that money back. And after that they make profit. So this is called as multiple. Now as a marketing, what we do is, because I want to take this entire brand promise about what my product is, my brand is to consumer, I hold a lot of money in the organization. I spend money for the organization to take it to consumer. And because of that, I create demand for it. Because I create demand, sales team fulfills it on ground. I am a profit center. This is a term. You could Google it later. So marketing is a profit center. It creates profit. And it sets key on what products you should invest. Whether, for example, if say Kia Motors today said, I want to establish a factory in Chittor district, Andhra Pradesh. Setting a factory is into crores. Now, after setting a factory, it produces some materials. Will it sell that materials in India or not? Who will give that assurance to the company? A brand team, a marketing team, and a business working team, along with finance gives that. But marketing says that, okay, I'll create demand for at least 20,000 vehicles a month. Then you could sell. So based on that projection, they set up a factory. So do you understand the kind of, so here is what we should understand. For example, if tomorrow, if there was a marketing team of GRCP, they say, okay, I want to set up a factory in Mumbai, I want to set up a college in Mumbai. To set up a college in Mumbai, it's a huge cost after regulatory approvals and all that. But will it have enough students? There should be an assurance, okay, we'll get these enough students, we'll get to fill the seats. Now, this assurance will be done by the marketing people or a business or a sales people. Now, typically in a marketing persons or in my life, every day I interact with all these people. The green bubbles are internal. So with sales team, I give them what is the kind of target they could achieve. If they have any problem, they come back to us saying we have this issue, how can you solve? For a supply chain, we would say, okay, you need to produce X number of quantity of a product, and they would come back and say, okay, can we produce or not? In terms of finance, we'll promise them certain top line saying that this is the amount of product that we are going to sell. You give me this X amount of advertising money. This is what we do. And with R&D, you go to R&D as a marketing person to brief what are the kind of products you need, because R&D themselves are highly capable. Where most of us will eventually go, R&D is highly capable of making new products, but somebody has to tell them what products to be made. And if they are making new products, they should be taken to a consumer in a language that consumer understands. So hence, this is what marketing does. And associated with R&D is quality control and quality assurance to ensure that products are of good quality. So that really comes in as a second or third run in terms of the hierarchy. Then there is a legal team to ensure that whatever that we are doing, is it legal or not legal. Then regulatory team about claims. There is an external people where I go and tell them, okay, my R&D has made this fantastic product, or I am briefing my R&D about this product. Now we need to make a great packaging so that when consumer sees, he would want to at least pick it up from the shelf and see and make a decision. So that is about agency. Then we talk to agencies which make ads. Then we also go back to research agencies to find out whether is there a sizable number of people. It is not that Nikhil likes it or his boss likes it or someone else in the company likes it. There should be a lot of people who like it. For example, the very Kia example. Kia would have taken their design to many people across India to ask whether this design really works for India or not. So this research is called as prototyping. This happens for at least 2 to 3 years before we finalize a particular product. Then we talk to media agency to invest. Where should we target? For example, Nikhil. Nikhil does not watch TV because he does not have cable at home. What does he do? He watches mobile. On mobile, what does he watch? He watches some 1 to 3 apps. Can we place these apps there? So this is how a media agency does. So I go back to media agency, say that who is this product for and where should we reach him. So media agency comes back to us and saying, okay, for your consumers, they are watching, say, Alt Balaji, they are watching MX Player, they are watching Hotstar, they are on Netflix, they are on Amazon Prime, they watch a lot of YouTube. In YouTube, they watch a lot of celebrity interviews, or they probably hear to spiritual. Then you finalize that media plan in line with media agency. Then there are strategy consultants. How do we scale up? Because what is happening right now will be encashed right now, but what about future? So if you see, does Nikhil as a B Farm person know all these functions? Do I know what finance needs, what finance people study? Do I know legalities? Do I know law? Do I know I have a studied design? No, I haven't. So one key thing that we need to know as a B Farm student getting into this is, as I said, have confidence to speak, have confidence to ask what you do not know. So in a first meeting with a finance, you might not know anything. You might be dumb, or I was dumb at least. So you open up, you talk to them, then you understand their perspective, you understand what they are. So here you understand that eventually after say 10 to 11 years, you understand some bits of all these. And for a new person into this particular, any of this division, you would probably help to brief him or induct him. That is the level where you reach. So it's about asking, opening up, and open to learn new things. That is something we should do. Now, within the organization, what does different teams do? Because what we really need to understand is all these people working in these teams could eventually land up in marketing someday if they are thinking in this direction of consumer, his needs, and what does he really need. So a finance typically gives money, they account for money, that is what finance does. And supply chain, they brings all the raw materials, they get it manufactured and makes it available in the warehouses of a company. And sales team eventually takes all these materials and put them in stores. So when we go to a grocer store or into a say Spencer's or to Heritage here in AP, we see a lot of stocks lying there. So there is a sales team which is actually filling all those racks. They ensure that it is filled. Then there is R&D, which we all know what they do, and legal. They ensure that all the products are compliant with law and regulation. All the ads are compliant with them, and HR, of course, manages the team. Now, marketing influences all these. For example, if I really need to have most profitable product, I tell supply chain team what is the target price at which they should get a particular product for the company. That is what marketing does. And with finance, marketing sets up the kind of price at which it should be sold into the market. Setting up the MRP is done by marketing. Setting up the margin for the product is done by marketing. What finance does is about arguing and negotiating with marketing whether Nikhil should get 12 crore budget to advertise his product or 10 crore budget. If Nikhil says, okay, give me 12 crore, I'll give you 50 crore sale, they would give 12 crore. So that is a negotiation that marketing and finance does. And with R&D, we brief products, we see what are the products that R&D has already done, how can we take them to the consumers and make money. This is what this does. Now, how does marketing influence HR? Now, all this really means that people should work for a consumer rather than their own departments. So this is what marketing says. Are we a marketing organization or are we a product centric organization? For example, Apple today is a great engineering company. People would not say they are a great marketing company because there the team decide that we need great engineers to make great products. Products sell Apple at least 50% to 60% of the times. So we need marketing orientation bit less. But when you go to probably Coca-Cola or Hindustan Unilever or say for example Raymond's, they would say we are a marketing company. Give us any product, we will sell. So eventually we need a product consumer person who looks at this. So this is what I typically do in a day. I interact with R&D about briefing products. I'll do sales reviews with my sales team. What they are selling, I review packaging for a new packs that are coming up, and I review ads or a brief for making new ads. So typically all these that you are seeing on slide, this is what a marketing person does. So in a day of say 8 to 12 hours that you typically have, your plate is really full. So it's about time management. So this is what typically a marketing or a brand person does. All this happens out of HO, head office of a company. So you're really occupied there and you're doing all this stuff. You're interacting with multiple people there. So this is what a person do. Now, when such person does like that, what is something that we really need to understand is, are we understanding right things from consumer or not? For example, if all of us look outside right now, at least in my place, sky looks a bit cloudy. And that is what similarly a finance person would have point of view. And say a legal person would have a different point of view. Somebody would say, okay, my sky is blue because there it is very sunny. So somebody might say my sky is gray. Somebody might say my sky is blue, which is the right color. How do you know? You would know that if you understand everything at the base. That is where we see whether how to look at things. For example, this might be just a glass of water. Now I come to you in a pharmaceutical college and I ask, what is this? You would say, okay, after an anatomy class, human anatomy class, you would say human anatomy and physiology, 60% of body is water, it is very important to live. Somebody might say, okay, it is used for reconstitution, a lab attendant, or out of a lab. Then you might say, no, it is a solvent. You might say it is an excipient from pharmaceutics class. Or you might say, okay, it is a heating medium for my experiments. You might say from microbiology, it's a growth medium. And somebody else might say it is a great cleaning agent. Is that where it stops? No. There are again different types of water: potable, purified, sterile, bacteriostatic, distilled. Now, who in this world would have this kind of diverse way of looking one same thing? None other than we all who are there in this session, which is B pharmacy and M pharmacy. Think of ourselves when we just came out of our 12th. Look at the kind of subjects that we have. Look at the kind of books that we read. One same water, we look at it in multiple ways. The same NaCl, sodium chloride, we look at it in multiple ways. The same H2SO4, we look at it in multiple ways. HCl, same. NaOH, the same thing. So we have more complete and rounded view. So hence, to me, it's all in the perspective of what you're building. Hence, to me, B pharmacy is the most multidisciplinary course that is available in India today. After this comes BTech. Why do you see a lot of MBAs and BTech grads really doing well? Because again, their course is multidisciplinary, but our course is the most multidisciplinary course. And we have direct correlationship with business because we understand drugs, we understand chemicals. For example, today, if my R&D says, okay, Nikhil, you want this product to be sold in the peak heat of summer, but the waxes melt, my ointment is not stable. Because of pharmaceutical knowledge and wisdom that I have, I engage with him. Why don't you change this wax? Why don't you change the grain of the wax? Why don't you change the grade of the wax? It could be liquid paraffin, it could be hard paraffin. Why don't you change? So this is where pharmacy students really add value, or at least this helped me. This is what I see very different from people who do BBA and come to marketing, or BTech and come to marketing. Here, when I said, look around us, we are dealing about products which are nothing but mixture of chemicals. They are all chemical entities. Our soap, our shampoo, we make it in our labs, isn't it? The atta that we have, it has to be stable. They are adding some, you say preservatives. Where are we studying about preservatives? We study about preserve. Who understands best about the chemical interaction than anybody else in this world? It is pharmaceutical students. Hence, I see that pharmacy or people who are on this call are a great fit because we understand the core chemicals, their interaction. We can talk to R&D person. First, we need to have a product to sell. So R&D gives this product. And for a sales, because of the kind of perspective here we had seen, we can talk to a person who thinks water as solvent. We can talk to him, yes, water is solvent, you're right. But a person who does not know that it can be used as solvent is here, you're wrong. It is only 60% of the body. You sell that, you drink a lot of body, you will really do well in your life. Because the other person may not understand the perspective. So as a pharmacy student, we have very rounded perspective. Hence, I feel B pharmacy is very apt. Now, to get into this field, we understood that yes, what marketing does, they sell stories, they add story to a product to charge a premium, they ensure that a company unlocks value in a simple product. Now, we understood that pharmacy is a very rounded profession. We are studying it, we have that perspective. Now, what are the skills? One is you should be very ethical. Do I mislead consumer? No. All the brands which try to mislead consumers are lost. For example, Maggie said we are healthy, but they lost. Now they had to add micronutrients to their formulation. Now, what micronutrients do they need to add? A pharmacy student heading that brand who know exactly what are the micronutrients to be added, and when sent to a nutrition counseling, what are the claims that he could do? This is what we study, isn't it, in biochemistry? So this is what a marketing person does. So whatever I'm saying, this is how a real life pans out in a corporate office. So always a R&D person, when he interacts with a pharmaceutical graduate MBA, he always has his respect high for him. Similarly, we deal with multiple subjects. Hence, we also need to have a lot of analytical skills, and people who love numbers only should choose marketing or brand management. Because when you're looking at scenarios of what profit that a particular product would have, you should really work on your numbers. And then you should inspire. For example, we should not be a motivator. It's about inspiration. For example, today Apple says that I make best products. If it does not make best products and it itself does not show itself as an making best products, you will not believe in Apple's promise, and you will eventually the products fail. And you should have a grand vision. For example, today if you see that okay, this particular brand is selling say 10 crore, tomorrow it should be 50 crores. Only when you have that vision, something could happen. So always have vision. When you're just thinking of, say, probably you want to be like big within your family or say big within your city, it does not really work. You should have vision, a very grand vision, which is like, okay, I want to be the best, say in India. Then you are really thinking of a grand vision. That is a kind of vision. That vision may happen or may not happen. Again, I'm saying marketing is all about vision. Marketing is all about ambition. Only then great products are born, and only then great marketers are born. That is when you push the envelope. Then you have to be really creative, and I believe pharmaceutical students are all creative because the kind of adjustments that we make in formulations while we are doing our lab experiments, there might be certain portion of it. However, you add a little bit of more oil or a little bit of more water to ensure that emulsion is formed. That is creativity. Now, when it comes to a corporate world, you see it manifesting. At least you have that quality. When you're properly taking a transaction in a cognizy, it may not happen the right way. But you show a creativity there to ensure that you get the right section, and with the reagent, all the cells are properly showing. And you should get into details. You should not stop. So hence, in our pharmaceutical case, you should always get into why this happens till you get the core of it. So this is a very great quality. So all these are the qualities that you should have. And confidence, I have really said it earlier many times in this session. So have confidence, and you should motivate others to pursue uh, your goals. Only then probably a sales team would pursue your idea of placing so many, and then probably only then R&D will pursue your idea. How will it come if you have your own conviction? And typically, career in marketing starts with a sales stint. It is must. Believe me, it is must. Whether you go into a pharmaceutical RX marketing or into an OTC marketing, you start as a medical representative. In case of FMCG marketing, you start as a sales boy or you start as a sales officer. So it is must. Why? Because eventually our products are kept in these stores. These are written by doctors. Unless we know our customer, we cannot sell. Unless a faculty really merges with his students or her student, they really do not know where the student is lagging. What is the need of the student? Similarly, unless we speak to our friends, we do not know what is their likes and dislikes. Hence, what do we offer them? As I say, probably a birthday present or as a surprise. So similarly, here we should know our customers and our consumers. They are on ground. They are not in HO. They are not in head office. Hence, you need to do that sales team. This is compulsory. Now, after that, in a sales stint, a person will typically start as a sales officer or a senior SO, and eventually they go up to area sales manager. So probably, for example, if I would say a sales officer would be there for the entire Pachupalli, and senior sales officer would probably extend up to KPHB. Now there would be one or two RSMs for the entire Hyderabad. I'm trying to give you the scope of it, or for the entire Andhra Pradesh. Then there would be an RSM, regional manager for the entire south, which is Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala. And similarly, you will have different RSMs for different zones. Now this is company agnostic structure. For a big company like say Unilever, they say we have something called as Middle India, which is Madhya Pradesh, which is Maharashtra. So that's how they divide. So that is called as Middle India for them. Then we have one national sales manager, All India national sales manager. At some point, you would make a switch into head office as a marketing person or a brand person if you have that ambition, if you show that inclination. Because you had seen earlier here, if you remember the kind of grid that I had shown you, here you are daily interacting as a salesman with a shopkeeper, with a consumer, with a distributor who distributes our products. That is all our interaction is. But when you come to HO, as I showed you, the plethora of interactions are huge. So hence you really need to build that capability. Now, what is that capability? Is this the MBA or PGDM? Yes, it is. Now, at what point should I do this MBA or PGDM? Should I do right at the beginning of my career or after starting my sales team? You can do both ways. Just that make sure that you do this PGDM or MBA for sure. What happens with majority of people who start their career in sales and then go to this is, again, here you need to have a grand vision when you do that. You go to a sales stint, you are doing there great because we are young, we have a lot of energy, great ideas, we come from pharmacy, we do really great, believe me, we do fantastic. Somebody who understands it in 10 minutes, we understand it within 1 minute. As soon as they open their mouth, we know what is he going to say and what his intentions are. That is how well versed we would be. So what happens is there is a lot of money which comes into your bank account every month. Then you would think, shall I stop this money and shall I do my MBA? Why should I do this? And while working, you will also have a lot of money. Hence, you will spend that money, or you spend time on spending that money instead of focusing on education. That is where many people are not able to do their MBA or PGDM after starting their sales team. Some people do have that inclination and then they do. Majority of them, they do it in a distance mode or a distance course or in a very small college. When I say small college, not undermining any college. When I say small college, compared to pharmacy, when you go to MBA and you do your MBA, it is about team goals. It is no more about my experiment, my output, my record. Imagine all of us have one record to write, and all of us have to write that same record. Only then the five people would get equal marks for that record, for instance, or for that practical. It is called as team goal. Unless everybody contributes, that record would not get completed. Now, there would be some people who would not be interested in writing or participating in the practical in such environment. You need to motivate them, or such people are left out. So this is what happens when you do MBA in a good college. When I said good college, it has to be a residential college. You always do a residential MBA. That is why you see all the top B schools. To be called a B school, you should have a residential program, on-campus residential program, where students stay there for 2 years continuous. There you develop team. So clearly people who are not part of a team would drop out, or people would not take them. So the entire mindset change, at least that I had in me while doing MBA, is from individualistic goals to team goals. What does it mean? Again, we see it in cricket for a great example. Somebody to ensure that a person completes his century, some people take singles and they give him the strike, right? Similarly, in football, you have the ball is passed on so that you know who marks the goal. So ensure that the forward marks the goal. You let your ball pass. Can't others do this? Yes, everybody has the same skill. So this is the difference that you need to have. This is what a proper MBA does to you, or in a residential MBA does. Hence, my earnest request is, after your B Farm or M Farm, do MBA in a good residential college. Don't go for MBA where you could go back home. That is not the intention. We need to evolve. We need to come out of our safety net, come out of our comfortable zone, get into discomfort. Only then we grow as individuals. That is what marketing is all about, at least branding is all about. If, say, Steve Jobs did not say, I need a touchscreen phone which is so cool and which is so smooth to operate, today we would not have seen. It's about pushing the envelope. So prepare for that. If somebody is joining sales because of their family background, because they want to start earning, that is also a great thing. But you continue or steady. Make sure that while you're on field doing your sales job, think that you're still in a college. After your job, your college is over, and now you go back to study in the evening or in the morning. Because at the entry level, your pressure wouldn't be as much as you go up. So hence, in the first 2 years is when you really get chance. After that, you become team leader, then you have a team, then your education goals would stop. I'm stopping in this, I'm discussing so much is because while doing your MBA, the second thought process I would want you all to have is, it is not about where do I start. For example, I did my MBA. I started as an assistant brand manager. If I did not do my MBA, I did my sales, I would have still been an ABM or assistant brand. We'll see that in the next slide. But today I aspire to go up to CEO level. I can gun for it. So it is similarly like, for example, a PhD student versus a M.Pharm student. Can really an M.Pharm student really gun for being a principal? No, at certain cutoff point you would stop. And taking this example from our college is because it is close to us and we understand. So a person without an MBA, without this kind of team orientation, unless he has really proven in real life that he is a great team leader, he cannot gun for the top post. So hence, when I did my MBA, I said, okay, my starting line is going to be the same as many others, but my end line is going to be far ahead where many stop. So typically in a marketing organization, you start off as a brand officer or executive right after your MBA or right after. So you would start here, and typically the pay scale would be about 5 to 10 lakhs a year. After certain experience, you move on to assistant brand manager, or somebody who is moving from sales to marketing would start here as assistant brand manager, where salary would go up to 15 lakhs. And some people who are moving from sales to marketing also join here. So these are the two positions where people moving from sales to marketing join. They do not start here, because here whatever the skills that a person learns are same whether it is in sales or in marketing. So a brand manager typically earns up to 40 lakhs. After brand manager, there is this position called as category manager, where you are handling the entire category, multiple brands. When I said brand manager, they are going to handle multiple formats. For example, when we looked at earlier example, for example, Volini is a brand. A brand manager would be handling Volini ointment, Volini spray, Volini patches, Volini roll-on, and Volini tablet. Now, a category manager would handle entire pain management as a category. It is about problem. So, for example, if I were to take a example of Unilever, there would be a brand manager for Dove, there would be a brand manager for Sunsilk and Chic, for example, which they bought. So, the brand manager is going to handle a big brand with or two or three multiple brands. However, there will be one category manager for the entire hair care. So he will handle oils, hair oil, he will handle conditioner, he will handle shampoo, which could be across multiple brands. So their salary goes up to 70 lakhs. After that, you go up to CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, where the salaries are up to 1.2 crore. Now, all these are on an average majority organization. This is the kind of structure majority organizations would have. Some organization would have different structure. For example, somebody might call introduce a level here called group brand manager. After that comes category manager. For instance, somebody might have category director here after category manager. So these are agnostic to companies, but typically this is where it is. And then further goes CEO. So at a CEO level, along with the chief marketing officer, a person coming up the marketing hierarchy, there are two more people who will gun for this position. Either it is national sales manager or chief operating officer. So eventually you see all the CEOs are eventually either from marketing or sales or from operations. Now, what is the commonality here? All these people have wider interaction across the organization. Hence, you need to have that kind of framework. Hence, you cannot ever say, I have less time, I did not have time to do it. You need to find time by managing time well. That is what you need to do. So when you look back after your, say, a year or 3 years or 5 years into marketing, what you would have done, you would have given great products to people which they really like. Probably you had given, say, for example, in my case, I would have given a great ultra power, a stronger balm for, say, a grandma who is looking for a better relief. So she's happy and she's participating and enjoying with her grandchildren. You would have improved life of a mom, dad, and all others that you see. If you see, you gave your mom really a great shampoo that she loves, and she's really happy with her life. So you are spreading smiles. So knowingly or unknowingly, we spread a lot of smiles for people. We would have launched many new brands or new products into this market. We go and purchase. Have you ever thought who are making these products? Can you be the product, that person who brings these to the shelves? If you love doing it, why not? Then you have designed ads. We see a lot of ads on TV, on YouTube. Who are these people who are making these ads? Who are the people who are triggering these ads? You could be that. And then you create new habits. For example, today sanitizer, we use a lot of sanitizer. Did it exist earlier? Before COVID, yes, it did exist. But did people use as much as today? No, they did not. But there is a marketeer who said there is an opportunity for sanitizer in India. We should bring it to India. And they launched, they made it available. Today, luckily, because it is there, readily available, as soon as Corona struck, we all had sanitizers available for us. So hence, you would create new habits and behaviors. For example, today, if somebody is hungry, they break open a packet of Maggi, cook something and eat immediately. So this is a new habit that we have created. Similarly, for example, we see ID today. Does everybody need to know how to soak dal and make batter? No, nobody needs to know that today. ID is solving for it. So you create new habits and behaviors, and you are going to influence a lot of this popular culture. So if you see all these examples, they did not exist 10 years ago, or say when we were kids. For example, Maggie today is part of our household. Earlier, it is considered as junk food. Selfie did not exist, or tablet pieces did not exist, or powdered antacids did not exist as much as they are today. Now we are purchasing water which is bottled. Even in villages, people are getting bubbled water or mineral water. We are instead of going to shop and getting our wheat This thing we are getting it well packed. Today we have sanitizers. We have a plethora of shampoos, different sets of shampoos. Earlier, if you ask people would say, okay, there is one egg shampoo, there is one lemon shampoo, or there is a neem shampoo. That's it. But today you have shampoo for everything, from split ends to broken hair to conditioning to dandruff with softening. So a marketeer ensures that people get products which help them feel good, they live good, and they live their life to the fullest. For example, today Zoom that we use, the Google Meet that we use, Google was only a search company. Then there is a person who said, okay, there is an opportunity in meeting. There are virtual meetings which are going to happen in future. This is the vision. When nobody could see it, you should have that vision. It's okay if you're wrong, but if you are successful, you make in a lot of money. Now, for example, let us take a case study of Thyronor. We all see that at least when you are really into schools, you would not have heard of thyroid as a big problem. Now, Thyronor is a product of Abbott. How Abbott has changed the behavior. We said that we influence the pop culture and behavior. Now, what Abbott did is they partnered with a small company called Thyrocare. Thyrocare is a very, very small diagnostic company. They said, why don't you specialize in thyroid monitoring? Today, Thyrocare has all sorts of diagnostics, but back then, Thyrocare was purely a small diagnostic company with kits of thyroid. They did not know what to do. Abbott wanted to scale up their thyronorm business. When they did market research, their marketing team, which I closely know, they saw that people did not know what thyroid is all about. Hence, they were not getting it checked. So what they did is they went to all their doctors and said, doctor, these are the symptoms of a thyroid patient. If you see these symptoms, don't neglect them as normal symptoms, get it tested. So they got it tested. Where do they go? They go to Thyrocare. Then they get a great discount because doctor is referring. Now, who is offering this discount? Backend, Abbott and Thyrocare for scaling up their business. Now, everybody started getting screened. Then what they found is elderly is where thyroid incidence is high. Then they said all the elderly showing borderline should get it tested. So the first market they explored was elderly. Elderly are done. If you remember, if you would have remembered our grandparents or elderly parents would have got tested with thyroid and they had got thyroid. After that, they said, okay, young people also get thyroid. So they exploited the entire elderly market. Now young people started getting thyroid. Why? They neglected it because the age did not let them show. So it is about managing thyroid in younger people. Now we are through. Old age is done, younger people are done. Now who do we target? Then came pregnant women. This is the recent campaign which is ongoing. Making India thyroid aware, MITA. You see the logo behind. So now they are talking. Now you will hear many pregnant women are getting thyroid. Similar is the case that happened with diabetes. So is Abbott unethical? No, they are not. What they did is, for example, which is current example of corona, which is very, very relevant. Without awareness of corona, a normal cough and cold would have been treated, or a normal fever would have been treated as any other cold and would have passed on to many others. However, in case of thyroid, if it goes undetected, it hurts the person who has it. It does not spread to others, so it is harmful for the very person. So hence, what this company did for their own brand is aid people getting detected thyroid. As a result, people were using Thyronorm and Thyronorm sales went up. So it is a win-win situation. So a young person who had a great future, his future would have been cut short because of thyroid, got relieved of thyroid because of this initiative of Thyronorm, and it helped them lead a very happy life. Hence, Thyronorm sales also went up. So this is what a marketeer does. For this, you need to have a great vision. You would say, okay, we tested everyone, there is no more market. You need to really think through where could be the market. It is about getting into details. Now, another example from pharmaceutical world, this is from regular world. For example, Maggie. This started saying that you feed your kids when they are hungry. This has been the case initially. Then what they realized is Indian parents do not really appreciate junk food as normal substitution of normal food. Then they said, okay, mom puts Maggie after kids played out, they are tired. So this is the snack item. It's about kids. And now later, if you see, it moved on to a ninth or 10th class kid. From small kids to ninth or 10th class kids. Why? Because these form the majority of our population. Can Maggie not be eaten by kids now? No, it can be eaten, but majority of market is in college goers. So hence you say, when you talk to a college goer, your market increases. Now, will a college goer sit idly and do nothing? He likes action or she likes action. Hence, it says, "Aao Maggie banaye. Let's cook Maggie together." So they made parents and kids together do some action in kitchen. So when I said action, it's about cooking in kitchen. So this is what all about. And then came Jeb hungry oh hungru back Maggie khao. So today, if we are eating Maggie, is it that we are eating Maggie out of love, or is it somebody influenced us? Think over. Somebody had shown that okay, college kids could also eat Maggie, so we are eating Maggie. So this is something which is driven unconsciously, subconsciously for us when we see a lot of ads. Similarly, today we are cooking up Maggie when we are hungry. Is it something that we are doing deliberately, or is it something that was seeded within us? This is something which is seeded within us. When you are hungry, eat Maggie. So here you see it is a college goer. Now, does a college goer listen to his parents? No. If somebody says yes, then they are lying because they have their own opinions. They respect their own opinions. Hence, you need a big personality to say, okay, this is also acceptable. Who best than Amitabh Bachchan, who has most credible. And after that, they, if you see now, India has biggest workforce, young population. So you see Maggie now talking to adults. Now, noodles does not really gel well with adults. What gels well is a good taste. Hence, you see a promise of kuch acha pak raha hai. The same Maggie promise, a masala sachet which used to be inside, which used to come free, now being sold at 5 rupees or 10 rupees. The same 10 rupee packet has the similar masala. Now, the same masala which used to be free, slightly more quantity, but now sold at 5 rupees or 10 rupees. You see how the value is getting unlocked for Nestle here. And now we say similarly we could add it to kids also, because a lot of kids are at home doing work from home scenario, studying from home. So it is a great way for mom to actually reduce her time in cooking. So it says big taste, small pack. Here it is about a great food, kuch acha. Here it is about taste with kids. Do you see the messaging changing? So this is a finer work that a marketing person or a brand person does. So the same sachet communication here for an adult is acha pak raha hai, good food. Here it is about tasty food, big taste, because kids like taste. They are not bothered about whether it is good or bad for the body. It's about taste. So this is how a brand or a marketer does. So eventually you will really feel proud. You are taking these decisions. You are really handling crores of rupees for organization, and hence it means you are spending that money from your hand. So hence this person has to be really ethical. He cannot be unethical in terms of unethical towards his brand, unethical towards consumer, unethical towards finances. Eventually, at some point, with the great audit systems that we have, it gets caught whether you're unethical to consumer, legal audit, whether you are unethical to the claims that you make with regulatory audit, unethical to the money that you're doing with financial audit, and yourself will not feel fulfilled or empowered, or you would not really grow up in the organization because people would not trust to place that money. And eventually, as you have seen the kind of pay scale that you have, it's all about what runs in your mind and the ideas you bring to the table that will get paid. So there is no fixed salary or no particular fixed raise that you would have. It is all about the ideas. People are ready to pay a huge number of money if people are ready to switch companies. Bring that entire idea back to a company. So today, this Nestle, this idea. So does Nestle have this idea? No, there is a person in Nestle who is plotting this idea. So if that same person tomorrow probably goes to ITC, he will plot this similar journey with EP noodles, and EP noodles will start making money. So hence it is about ideas that make money. And to me, the best person who could make that happen is a B farm person. As a result, how does work life hamper? Clearly, if somebody says marketing people have lot of free time, it is not right, because you saw the kind of interactions. So be prepared for that. This I want to be really a thought starter for you all of what you are looking and what are you ready to sign up for this or not. This is definitely not a 9 to 5 job. Once you're out of your lab, R&D or QA or QC or your sales, the stores are closed or for the day, the number of stores to be covered are over. Are you done with your job? Yes, you're done with your job there. But in marketing, no, you're not. because you will be working with a sales team when the sales team person is active. You'll be working with R&D when he is active. So you'll be working with different departments when they are active. When do you get your own me time to work on your work? When there is time left between these interactions, or after or before these interactions. When do you make your plans? Hence, a marketeer's scope of work or the time of work is far more stretched and far more demanding than any other profession in the organization. Probably finance will have that kind of stretch during year end closing or month end closing, or sales team would have such stretch at the time of their weekly closing or a month end closing. But for a marketeer, every day is going to be a stretch, and hence you need to have really high levels of energy and in order and able to match all these that you have. And again, marketing is an equal opportunity, so both men and women can work. So probably when you look at any organization, you will find more women as a percentage of divisions or verticals in marketing compared to any others, because they could work at their comfort. It is about mind and it is about a skill, and it does not have any limitations in terms of physicality clearly. So that is how it works, and people have to be more open. For example, today I work for condoms. I am open about it. I need to be vocal and I need to work. So I am comfortable conversing it with anyone. So hence a marketeer would be very, very open and would have that understanding and that maturity when he is talking about different subjects and dealing with different people. Similarly, there will be a person of sanitary napkins, for instance. He need not be essentially be a female. It will also be a man who would be handling there, but he would be more understanding of it. Hence, it's an equal opportunity job. So that's all I have for this session for you all. We looked at the kind of hierarchy, the kind of entry points, and kind of work that happens, how it is an equal opportunity, and the kind of decisions that a person takes. Now we can discuss any points that you would want to ask me, or any queries that
Sir,
you have, or it could be a general discussion as well. Yeah,
sir,
open to all.
excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Thank you
Uh,
very much, Nikhil.
yes,
I have
yes.
a question for you, sir. Sir,
Yeah, your name, please, and what are you
Now,
studying right now?
my name is Naveen, sir. I'm studying BCom final year. Uh,
Okay.
I also wanted to be a marketing person after this. I mean,
Yeah, go
I was
on.
thinking about it from the first year itself. So
Hmm.
my question here is, how can we really, how do you manage to put up a sale of for a product so it has a low sale? For
How do
example, if
you?
you take, sir, if a product is still dying, I mean, it is on a process to die, but
Hmm.
you need to keep up the sales. So what are your key points you follow to keep up the sales in the people? Like if you take
Good.
Zinda Till Smart, it
Hmm.
was one through the whole pharmaceutical industry. It has many pharmaceutical, users. It has various users, but now we see barely any person using it. So, but so they're still producing the product, so it has the low sale. So,
Right.
what are their key things they're taking to sustain the product in people?
Yeah. So, Naveen, what you have asked is so there is something called as KRA, key resultant areas, on which all of us are measured when we enter into a corporate world or an organization. So, for any person, say any marketer, the first KRA would be what will be the growth of my brand. For example, for me today, the KRA on Kama Sutra would be how do I scale up Kama Sutra from X crore sale to Y crore sale? That is the first KRA. So that is a very question that you have asked. If you were to be a brand marketeer for Zinda Talisman, that is what the task would be. Hence, you are asking me this. Now, first we need to understand what is the problem with Zinda Talisman, because the sales are falling for a reason. Sales are a symptom, they are not a reason. So again, this kind of understanding is where you really get from B pharmacy curriculum, understanding what is a symptom and what is the underlying cause for it. Now, if I were to be handling this problem, I would go back to consumer, I would meet consumers, I would meet retailers, I would meet distributors, and understand what is it that they do not like about Zinda Smart today. Then we solution for it. For example, today, if a person says, I'm assuming it. If he says, okay, if I buy a Zinda Tilismat, my friends in my PG, my hostel looks at me as bhai ye bahut hi old zamane ka hai. He is like an uncle. He thinks like an uncle. it is imagery or a perception problem. That Zinda Talisman is an age-old brand. It is not for the young. It is not for the youth. Then you address that. Or if somebody says, okay, I purchased Zinda Talisman, but it comes in glass bottles, it breaks and it spoils. It spoiled my 2 bags right now in the past 2 years. Hence, I do not buy it anymore. Then the solution is moving it from glass bottle to a plastic bottle. Now, when you do this, your R&D person might say, okay, plastic bottle में वो stable नहीं है. It does not qualify for stability. Then you go back to him and ask, okay, what are the chemicals? Then we do this in our study. Or you can tell him, why don't you explore, say, a PP or HDPE or LDPE bottle for it? Why don't we omit VAD? If VAD is causing microbiological contamination and growth, if we want to use VAD, why can't we use an aluminum sealing to it? So this is a solution on packaging. If these are not an issue at all, people might say, and okay, I did not even know Zinda Talisman exists. You know because you are working for this company, or you know because it is used by your family. But I do not know what Zinda Talisman is. Then it is issue of awareness. So we have to advertise Zinda Talisman. Now, what do we advertise on Zinda Talisman? Again, this is a work that we need to do as a brand marketeers. What do we pitch it as? Is it for cough? Is it for cold? Or is it an all-in-one medicine? Will a promise of all-in-one medicine does people really accept? We need to check what percentage of people will accept. Okay, out of 7 crore people in AP, only 5 crore will accept, or say only 2 crore will accept. Out of this 2 crore, if I assume 10% will purchase, which is about 20 lakh people will purchase. 20 lakh into MRP of it is say 100 rupees. 20 lakh into 100, 20 crore. I'm happy with 20 crore business. Let's go with it. But if you think that okay, 20 crore is not my ambition is 200 crore. Then more people should like it, more than 20 lakh people. Then find out what is it. If it is not all in one, will people believe that okay, in Corona, if you use Zinda Talisman, you put Zinda Talisman in your nose daily, it will prevent Corona. Then will 2 crore people believe and purchase? If it is yes, you go for it. Or it could be a scaled way. Okay, right now let me crack 20 crore market in first 2 years, and then after 4 years I'll crack that market of antiviral. So this is how a brand marketer does. So if I went fast, you could again come back and ask me to explain any particular point. But this is how typically marketing plans are built to revive product.
So it is that they're satisfied with their production and sales, so they are not really improving it further.
What? Come again?
Sir, as you said, if they're satisfied with 20 crore business, so
Yeah.
they don't want to expand it furthermore. So they're not
Yes.
really focusing on.
So here 20 crore is not about their capability, it is about the need. If the need of all-in-one product is only worth 20 crore, it will stop at 20 crore. Whether company might want to scale it to 40, it will not happen.
Okay, sir. So if you increase the people needs, it might increase.
Yes, you need to find the right need that people are purchasing Zinda Talisman for, or they would want to purchase it for.
Okay. Yeah, I think Corona might be one good reason to increase those sales if we really get into it.
But then what happens after Corona ends? People will not use Zinda Talisman.
Common flu is not. It's not a never-ending reason, no, sir. It will be with us forever.
So it has to be about flu rather than Corona.
Okay, sir.
There is a difference in Corona and flu. When you say to get your family safe from Corona, use Zinda Talisman. The message is different from if you want to stay safe from cold, use Zinda Talisman.
Yes, sir. But we don't take as Corona is totally based on symptom-based treatment.
Yes.
So you can say that use for cold. If people who are having cold, they can use it, or doctors can usually prescribe it.
And then your sales would, so then this is where the business scenario and analytics will come in. Then your sales will largely be skewed in that case during winter, and hence rest of the time your sales team would be really idle. So hence, do you really want to chase that? With the another business scenario and decision that you need to have as a brand marketer, whether I should chase cold or should I say it will help for the overall respiratory health. You need respiratory health always.
Yes, sir.
Instead of cold, which is against pollution, which is against harsh chemicals that we inhale, which is against the viruses that we have with the air. So, yeah.
I get
Any,
it. Thank
any
you.
other questions from delegates? You can post it on the chat box. So in fact, we are waiting for some.
Can you please render the feedback link? Okay. Yeah. So any other queries we can discuss, we can talk on your
Yeah.
careers of how would you want to start into your marketing? Why would you want to start?
Yeah. In fact, you have a merge of science and this marketing, then it will become a very good combination to work it out. To start
Yes,
with,
yes.
yes,
So I
technology.
want to start
And,
as an MR. So
yeah,
is
we
it a
will.
good choice or
Naveen, details, you can talk to him personally also and have an interaction. Nikhil, Naveen is a very nice student of final year B Pharm of our college.
Sure,
We all
sir.
recognize him. So
Sure.
please, we will ask him to touch with you.
Sure.
He's a very nice student. We all recognize. Any
Sure.
other questions, please? Let me check chat box.
I have seen chat box. So there isn't any. So yeah.
Yeah. So Gangaraju,
Yes, sir.
it is 12:28. If no questions are there, shall we conclude?
Yes, sir. You can conclude.
Yeah.
I take this opportunity to thank Nikhil for sparing his with our college students and staff and share his experiences. It is not simple 1 year or 2 years, 12 years of his full experience. He has put it before us for 1 hour and enlightened us what is happening to the other side of the technology. I really happy to listen to him. I profusely thank Nikhil, and I also thank all the students and the delegates who has joined us to listen to him and make this particular webinar very successful. In fact, right from the beginning, the number of participants are very, very high. Even yesterday also the number is high. Here also the number is high right from the beginning. In fact, it is a grand success. All this credit goes to Nikhil, who has made it. I thank him, and I also thank Gangaraju and Kulkarni. Kulkarni were not available at this particular stage. Otherwise, he was interested. He was busy with something else. So, with permission of Gangaraju, I will close this section.
Sure.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the
Over to
opportunity.
sir.
Okay, Nikhil, all the best. Do well.
Thank you.
Keep
Thank you, sir.
rocking. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Right.
Thanks.